Caution, disclaimer. This video is created for educational and entertainment purposes only. It reflects my personal thoughts, questions, and independent research, and is intended to foster a film community and encourage discussion. This content is not meant to offend, slander, or present complete or definitive truths. Please do not attempt to replace anything shown or discussed on this program. Filmtrix Politix podcast and its affiliates are not responsible for any mishaps, misunderstandings, or misinterpretations. All opinions expressed by a guest are their own and do not reflect the views of Blackjack TV, its content, or the Filmtrix Politix podcast. Enjoy the show, engage respectfully, and be entertained.
Because I don't know over here. Yo, Filmtrix Politix, episode 5. Yo, what up, people? We are back here again, and you guys are back here again, and thank you guys for joining. Thank you for all the views and the likes and everything that's going on. If you're new here, or if you've been here and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button right now. That really helps us get the algorithm going in your favor. You know what I'm saying? So we can see you, you can see us, and get more notifications of what we're doing. Look, we back here again with my co-host.
Back in the same.
You know, Atum Ra, you know what I'm saying? We here chilling. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, big chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? Boy, here with the filmmaker, and the habitual line stepper. So, you know what I'm saying? We ready to get it cracking again, man.
Hell yeah, definitely. We just chilling. We just hanging out. We got some things on our mind that we're gonna just kind of talk about. We want y'all to just join us. We may forget y'all even there. We're gonna just get into conversation. We might look at some videos and then, you know, kind of comment on something. I got some topics I want to bring up. That's some topics you guys probably been thinking about. Again, this is our part of our show where we just get to like talk, let our hair down, and just kind of like really get in tune with the culture, get in tune with what's going on a day-to-day.
Why you just gonna sit here and lie to the people? Well, you ain't got no hair to let down.
Damn. Shots. Look, I did get a good shave today, so damn. Man, that's messed up. I missed the baldy. And that video me and you sent with the bald song.
Oh yeah, bald nigga. Bald nigga. Looking like a book nut.
I fucked up. That was messed up.
That's hilarious.
But so everybody, y'all know, I guess the 50 and T.I. thing been going on. We probably gonna talk a little bit about some Netflix stuff. But yo, we just chilling. So y'all just bear with us, just hang out, whatever.
What's going on, man?
Man, I've been just looking at all these different videos, stuff happening in the Mexico stuff. I'm like, what's up? What's up? Sorry about that. That's one of the other things.
Yeah, man. So like, man, what started the T.I. 50 stuff, man?
Now, that's why I was gonna try to pull a video, because the T.I. 50 thing, I felt like it was like, okay, I just watched the interview. I watched T.I. and
I saw that. Yeah.
Who was it? God, why am I going blank on who the interview was with? T.I. and
Yeah, I always going blank.
Work with me. Somebody put it in the comments. But I saw the interview, and what I saw from the interview was like they had a conversation to do a versus, and then I think I got into a side conversation about like who had enough hits to do it, and 50 don't seem like he had the. And I was like, yeah. I said I can listen to both albums through and through of like both people. But I saw like 50's hits. They just kind of hit as big, but he didn't have as many. But T.I., I mean, I love T.I. T.I., that's just through and through. That's us.
I know. That's so who you got in the verses before we get to the beef?
I initially was thinking 50 because of the energy, but I'm going with T.I.
Yeah, man. I'm the same way, man. Only because, like, yeah, man, like, shit, I love 50, man. 50 had like a crazy mixtape run, and then obviously Get Rich or Die Trying is crazy, and so just when you say it off top, it's like 50 automatically. But then boys been having to remind me, and then I kind of been going back listening. I'm like, gee, I got some jams, dog.
You heard the new stuff?
Oh.
So I felt like I said, do we have a new beef coming through? But 50 ain't gonna get in the booth though.
Yeah. Nah, he done, man. The boy out there, he building. Say, shout out to Shreveport. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing him build a film studio, things like that out there. And, he been, going to all new heights with this film production thing. And, normally, 50 like the troll master. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody normally want that beef. But then, that Young King jumped out there.
King.
It's something about them kings. You know what I'm saying? Like,
me and my wife, we was talking about it last night. Like, man, I always knew that little boy was gonna be a hellion. I said, but he went to hell. 50, he went to hell and back. You fucking talk about his mama and disparaging pictures and all that stuff too. Like we all know and everything, but King, he went to hell. I don't know how he come back from that.
But that's like a part of this, like the younger culture, they're smoking on the dead homies and all of that stuff. We didn't really do that type of stuff. But like with these young boys, like they'll dish your dead homies. And apparently we know your dead mama too. Like sheesh.
But the song and video, the visual of The Right One by T.I.
Yeah, that's hard.
That was hard because he was sitting next to his mama and his wife, and King was sitting next to his mama and his grandma, I think his sisters and stuff was there, and his brothers there. Everybody was there. So the whole thing, like it was like wealthy. T.I. literally showed
black wealth
family without showing any money at all. And I thought that was like, damn. And 50, what do you have around you? What do you have around you, 50? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no beef, I don't want no smoke.
Yeah. Look, 50, if you want to beef with him. Like, don't beef with me.
No, man.
But nah, like you said, like, man, I didn't see this one coming.
I didn't either. I didn't. But I did love the songs. The Right One, I'm just playing a little bit. I ain't trying to get no copyright.
We definitely gonna get a copyright.
He's like,
Yeah, we definitely.
Nah, this one ain't the video. Never mind.
But it was right time and place and opportunity. But
so how did you feel though with? Let's break down each person involved. Okay, so officially, 50's involved, T.I. is involved,
correct.
And now King is involved. Okay, so let's 50. He initially sends out this video picture of Tiny in a weird position, whatever, performing.
Right.
So, like, why do we keep? Cause we had this conversation last night too on the other podcast at my mama's house. Shout out to Rock. Shout out to At My Mama's House.
Man, my mama's house, man.
Shout out to At My Mama's House. What's up at TikTok land? Like, why do we keep giving? Or are we? I don't want to put it words on. Are we giving 50 a pass because we know we done already deemed him to be the petty king, like are we giving it a pass to where what are we waiting on to happen here? What's the end game?
Well, I mean, man, I think like the thing with 50, just speaking as a former troll myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in the wild, wild west days of Twitter. And then even before Twitter, we was on the forums and the chat rooms, talking crazy. That's why to this day, my handle is will say whatever. And, it's a fine line to trolling because, like, one of the main things that you are anticipating on is you being the favorable one. But then sometimes you control somebody that got more favor or as much favor as you. And then that way, necessarily your narratives won't work. And so, like, with 50, I think that people, I think it's like with everything, like, people want to see people be petty, but then people also, like, kind of have a line where you go too far.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, with the, a lot of people make,
but to push back, what's too far for the petty king? Because he danced on the grave of Irv Gotti. He got repercussion blame. I guess that might be a word. Repercussion blame with Yayo and
right.
Murder on the plane that fucking corny. With Ja Rule.
Yeah, that was corny.
That's corny.
Right.
So is this like? I mean, I just feel like, bro, what's the deal? Like, what is your low? So with my thing, the transfer into King. How do you feel about what King said?
I mean, once again, as a person that believe when they go low, I go lower. Like, I'm with the shit. You know what I mean? Like, now with that being said, a lot of people have said, different things about King and, how you do kind of need to get other shit together. But at the same time, like, you can't never tell somebody how to respond, especially when you talking about their mom. True. And it's personal, you know what I mean? Because some people can say, a bunch of people say stuff about your mom, but it's not like direct, you know what I'm saying, with a name on it, you know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of random people like me, you know what I'm saying, in the comments saying something that they don't care about me, but you know what I'm saying, when you got somebody like 50 that can create a narrative that people will buy into or that people believe or this many people go see him talking about your mom.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's, I mean, at least for me growing up in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas say a lot of different things, but we know that the one thing that would start a fight would be your mama.
It'd be your mama, yeah.
That'd be the one thing.
Yeah,
like, we can call each other bitch ass niggas all day and be whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, but then as soon as somebody say something about somebody's mama, shit. You know what I'm saying?
And that's King. That's
all in popping.
And y'all know King live wire. Y'all leave that boy alone. He gonna hurt somebody. Leave that boy alone. You know what I'm saying? Like 50, leave him alone. But I felt I didn't get a chance to when I watched the interview of T.I. I did not even I didn't get a chance to see T.I. talk about the conversation that him and 50 had.
Right.
And stuff like that. So
in that instance, I believe T.I. because I did see, some of the clip where he was saying they were talking about doing the verses.
I believe it too.
And then, 50 started doing the internet games. And, it's kind of one of those things to where, like, a lot of things, like, both sides can be true to where it's like, maybe 50 wanted to play those games to hype it up. And T.I., they didn't talk about that. So, like, we talked about, we had another conversation just talking about how if there's tension and no conversation, people can take whatever you're doing a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was part of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think possibly when 50 started on his path, it was to destroy the verses or whatever. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, T.I. is a certain way. So he like, hey, we going to do this music. We ain't going to do this extra back and forth stuff to generate hype or whatever. Let's just, do the music. Mm-hmm. And then, you know what I'm saying, you can see how people start taking it personal.
Not hype on, on the back and benefit of my wife or the derogatory of my kids, my wife, my family. When he said that, I was like, damn, 50, if y'all talk. But also, too, I was like, T.I., did you kind of understand this is 50?
And I think that's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's both sides are right or true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In they instance, because like you said, like if anybody go anything to 50, we know this is what he does. This is his strategy to build brand awareness. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's been doing this with boxing, with
Everything.
liquor, with his movies. You know what I'm saying? It's to generate some controversy and tag the product.
See, I'm glad you, man, I'm so glad you said that. So to catch on a break, if for all of my C students, I'm stealing some people's time, but all the people in the back that sat in the back of the classroom, like what you just said was like exactly like what I'm looking at, like far as like this is, say it again with 50. Damn, I lost it.
Neither one of us remember, you know that.
I lost it.
Tell y'all why.
Because that was right on the point of like what I was trying. Oh, because it was something that, anyways, I can't remember what you said, but it triggered me to know about like ecosystems.
Right.
Like Tubi. Okay, so a lot of people give a lot of flack about Tubi and the movies, the actors and stuff like that, the scene. It's really what you're saying when you say Tubi, you're really changing independent film to Tubi. You're using those words transitory, together.
Right.
Which shouldn't do that because Tubi is a whole company organization.
They got a lot of professional movies.
Like a lot of professional. Like Tubi is just as professional as Peacock and Stars. All of those they're all in the same realm. Tubi's probably making more money if we're gonna look at it that way, if that's a value to you. But I bring it up because, okay, Hollywood is what it is because executives figured out that they're selling a lifestyle, they're selling a fantasy and an image. And part of that is characters. And some of those are leading man and leading woman. A lot of times that leading man, leading woman, if you go back into time, even to this day, they end up being an item. So not only their item, it's good because it's good for publicity because it's going to sell that product, going to sell that movie, but also maybe a baby gets produced out of this. Right. Now we have a new star that's coming, as well as catering to the stars that's there, and people like, wow, they got a baby, they're going to get married. But I say all of that to say, like, there's an ecosystem that's created. The same thing that needs to be created with the independent Tubi world, the actors there. I'm not saying make fake relationships, but I'm not saying not make fake relationships. Or just utilizing, making everything the fantasy, the whole thing. Like when Hollywood, the sound stages, the big sign, the beaches, the mountains behind you, all of that is fantasized because you only got a chance to see it in a damn Elvis movie or Hawaii Five-0 or Magnum PI. You got to see it in that. And then we started going out there. And this is people like 70s, 80s, 90s. Now you guys that's in these 2000s times, it's been to where you probably grew up in a family and had parents to where you went back and forth out to these major metropolitan, New York, LA and stuff like that. But back in the day, it was more so like, oh, you're going out west. I'm going to go try out my luck and try to do what I got to do to make it. Right. But now you got social media. Well, you got media in your hands. I don't want to say social no more. They got media in your hands now to reach out to people to where you don't have to go to these other places. But that understanding that you had to go somewhere and get into this bubble, it created a bubble, a Hollywood bubble that's going on to where I think that a lot of us need to, if we want to make it, we need to embrace our ecosystems.
For sure.
We need to make our own. And I felt like 50 Cent is using a tool that was created because of an ecosystem. Right. It's not that he's using a tool that's an ecosystem. Right. He's using a tool that was created from an ecosystem. Like basically, he's understanding that controversy sells. Controversy sells. Right. You know what I'm saying? So just like they put those two people together, love sells. But as soon as they break up, that sells too. That controversy sells. And now that we're in this modern time, the controversy and the bizarreness is like, how can I one up it? How can I one up it? One up it. And and I think a lot of us in the 96, between 95 to 98 kids, I think we're just traumatized for it to go to a violent level.
Right.
That's where we are.
Right, absolutely. And so, yeah, man, we hope that, like, you know what I'm saying, this just stays on wax and, you know what I'm saying, there are no crash outs, you know what I'm saying, anybody throwing pillows on the plane or anything like that, man.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we would have loved to see, you know what I'm saying, 50 and Tip in a versus. And, like I said, to be honest with you, it's kind of looking like niggas is running from Tip.
Niggas, you heard him?
You
Like,
know,
you heard him on the mic?
and like I said, I had
sounds
to go back.
sharp.
I had to go back, and I'm like, ooh, this man got some heat.
He's like a dragon.
He got some heat. And then, I mean, it's not even including features or anything else like that he got. You know what I'm saying?
If you go back and listen to his now he's being recognized where he should be recognized.
For sure.
That's the one thing I do think that's coming out of this awesome. You know, how we looking on time over here?
Yeah.
So we want to go keep going?
All right, we can wrap.
We can wrap. So I think we're gonna wrap on that conversation. I really like how T.I. is being a stand-up gentleman, even in the clap back. Waiting on 50 because you know he gonna do something. I'm not waiting on him because I'm promoting him to do it. I'm just waiting because I know it's gonna happen.
Right.
And if it already has happened by now, well, we'll see and we'll talk about that. But I really felt for T.I., bro. I really did, man.
Yeah, man. Somebody get T.I. versus, man.
Oh, hey. Wallow and Gilly. That was Wallow and Gilly's interview. Sorry, Wallow and Gilly. That's y'all's interview. Great interview. Love when y'all talked to the two sons at the end. That was very, very awesome to hear those two guys. But we're going to take a break. We're going to check out this video real quick. And
hey, but before we do, man, we need for y'all to let us know in the comments who would win in a battle between 50 and T.I., man. We want to know what y'all think.
Ooh, yeah, we do want to know what y'all think. Even in the TikTok land, put it in the chat. 50 or T.I. in a battle versus who you got. Put it in there. You know what I'm saying? So, let me grab my phone.
Yeah, man.
Close, see what's going on.
And Filmtrix Politix. Let's get it, baby.
Ah! We'll be right back.
I used to run dope through here. What could possibly go wrong?
You remember that plan we talked about, bro? About growing our own strand. Well, instead of that shit just being hopes and wishes, that shit can be a possibility right now, bro.
What? Where is this? What do you mean come back? Let me go with you, Pop.
Yes, I got bands. Hey, candy paint, leave a stain all in the rain. See my ex in the turning lane. She felt the window pane the way I'm swinging.
Hey, speaking of that freestyle though, y'all do that every night? I mean, it was crazy, bro.
Anybody want to get it, I line them up like linemen. I knock them down like pinballs.
Tell him Walter said it, Walter meant it. You knew the fucking rules before you jumped off.
Standing at that edge, I feel the tables turning. Feel like it's ops watching me. Sometimes that makes me nervous.
Nigga, you got no hoes. Anytime I pop up, they want to take my photos.
Bro, you slipping, man. You about to get this glove took?
I told you I need this to go away. That money is mine.
By the time the money is needed, I have it back.
Man, you always fucking mentioning food. The only thing I remember about that shit is I had to clean out the car and your ass went missing.
Now, I got the police asking me questions and...
Hold on. You talking to the police?
You know what? I think that's why Thomas showed me those photos.
Photos?
But what I do know is, I'm through with fix ass.
The bullshit, Aaron. You fucked me in that growth expansion deal with those two fucking goofs you call professional.
You killed Mac, nigga!
Fuck you!
But you got the money.
Yeah, I'm swinging.
Victor better run it or keep running.
I just need to find this ugly mother. And you gonna tell me where he's at.
Video we just talked about 50 and T.I. We're back. This is Filmtrix Politix. I'm Cayn King, the filmmaker, and this is
your brother Atum Ra, the habitual line stepper.
Hey, you know what's up. So we just sitting back, having a conversation, talking about it. The 50 and T.I. thing. We're gonna move on though to something a little bit that's been kind of in the air atmosphere. We'll just briefly touch on it because I kind of wanted to like bounce some things off. I've been thinking about it. So we're gonna get probably kind of esoteric here a little bit.
Stay woke.
Stay woke, baby.
Hey man, you know, even though y'all see this locks, like I always got a tinfoil hat on my head. Like.
Yeah, so put your tinfoil hats on and here in a minute, we'll let you know. But have you been keeping up with Netflix and this Paramount deal and WB? Have you been?
I mean, I've been seeing some talks around it. I know that it's just like several different sides.
Well, yeah, let me tell you. So basically, Netflix is gonna buy out WB, Warner Brothers Discovery. It's WBD, which is Warner Brothers Discovery, not Disney. A lot of people thought it was Disney, but it's Discovery.
Right.
Then you got Paramount.
Right.
They want to buy WB as well. Right. Now the thing is that WB has all these IPs that are part of our like childhood movies, like Superman, the DC stuff, all the Wire, all the HBO, anything from HBO is in there. Also, some of the big news media,
that's what
like
I was
CNN.
Right.
So basically, Paramount, Warner Brothers, who else? MGM. These are kind of considered the oligarchs, the foundation of what Hollywood was and what is. And so basically, like, what that's kind of it in the gist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, you know, my understanding, you know, I kind of, was hearing a lot of different variants of the argument. And maybe this is because, you know, I live on a lot of different sides of conversation. But, you know, one of the main things that I was hearing people talk about wasn't necessarily just the IP of the movies, of the shows. It was more so about the potential control of the news networks and the television networks. And from my understanding, that was kind of one of the biggest outcries, because I know, Barry Weiss and them got CBS News, and then, you got Fox, and so, CNN is supposed to be, the last bastion of hope and truth. Unfortunately,
it's
nobody
already been exposed that it's really not. It's biased. That's just another arm of the Democratic Party a little bit. The CNN, but CNN is the last vest of it, and that is a big thing. But
and then unfortunately, nobody wants MSNBC.
Oh, nobody wants BS. It's MS. What is MS Now? Is it MS Now? BS?
Yeah, nobody wants it. So they actually fighting over CNN. They gonna put up a fight over CNN, which I understand. And now they talking all this FCC talk and fair candidate use and all of those different things. But what I'm saying, before you get into that, for me, it's just my personal opinion. It's boomers sitting around arguing about crumbs, because the reality is they're making so much about CNN, CBS News, Fox News, MSNBC, when their average viewer is 65. And with new media and with the way that things are going, I don't even believe that those are really the outlets where a lot of people now are getting their information from.
No one's watching TV, no one's watching the news.
Right. And so, on one hand, I do feel what they're saying on okay, you potentially don't want, let's just say, if it's the right controlling all different aspects of the news. I understand that. But then, like I said, to me, it's they're also arguing over cable news and traditional.
But that's another thing but that's another thing to push back on is they're making it seem like Netflix is this right-wing situation when it's just Netflix. You know what I'm saying? It's like Netflix is. I mean, I don't know if they're right-wing oriented or whatever, but I just know that they do drop a lot of Jewish Holocaust, type of films and things of that sort. But besides that, with Netflix, I feel like it's. I don't know if you guys ever seen this TV show called American Gods.
Oh yeah, it's dope.
But I feel like this has turned into, a gods situation where you got the TV gods and you got the internet gods, and the internet god has grown up.
Right.
Netflix.
Right.
Spotify.
Right.
Universal Music Group.
Right.
Paramount. Warner Brothers. When you look at, if we're gonna look at money, why who could buy who, it's these internet gods. They over here saying, yo, but they're also saying, because another big thing was theatrical releases. Because that was James Cameron, the director of Avatar, the theatrical releases, and Netflix already said like nothing's gonna change. We're still gonna do 17-day release, and that's what got people in their feathers when they said 17 days. But really, that's like 2.5 weekends, which is the only in film school what we was taught, which is the only weekends that they really look at to make their money back is those first 2 to 3 weekends. Of course, it's the rest, but so with Netflix saying it, they just basically was saying the game plan out front. Like people are on their phones watching movies.
Facts.
They're not going to the theater.
Facts.
So talk about what do you think about that? So what do you think about that? I don't want to say too much.
I think like with art, it's kind of similar to technology in some ways from the perspective of I think that like there's always going to be people, rightfully so, that are against progress in their industry because they're being great in their industry. But let's just say, like, even in the age,
getting pushed out, they feel like that.
Right, but just say, like, even in the age of like digital art, where like you can draw stuff on your iPad and color it in and do your layers and everything like that, and even to where like people like me who like can't even draw a stick man in real life can make some images on ChatGPT and make it good. There's still a market for people that can paint hand paintings.
Yeah. There's always going to be that nostalgia. So, we still got vinyl records.
Right. And so that's why I think even the same thing, like from what I've seen, there are still people that like want to hear it and see it in the movie.
They want to see it in the movie theater.
Right. Like there is still that audience. Now, I do think like with a lot of different things, because the industry has changed, some of these people don't want to reach out and make things for those people. They still want to make things for everybody, thinking everybody's going to come, versus making it for those movie buffs who do enjoy. And this is why I always appreciate talking to you, because, a lot of times when we're on set doing Hugh Wood and things like that, it's a lot of different nuances that you put in the film that you see and whatever that people may not even realize why you're doing what you're doing, or that it was even a thing.
Yeah.
But I think that there are people out there that do see that and do appreciate it and that do know that. And so, I think, like people kind of cry against the progressive technology, like I said, people not coming and things like that, instead of making things for those movie buffs that do appreciate all those Easter eggs and those different things that y'all do. And they want to hear the sound and everything like that. And so, as far as it relates to, just the battle, I think that, your American Gods point is very valid, because it is the internet gods.
Yeah,
and I think that it's the old guards that live for the linear traditional TV, not even just on some right and left wing stuff that's like, hey, we got to protect this because this is the last bastion of truth and things like that. And we can't let the internet gods come in and take over, because, we know what's going to happen once they do.
So just to bring it in, like, 'cause we could nerd out on this question. That's why I want to bring it up, because these are tech giant companies that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
But to bring it in is basically Netflix was an envelope. You ordered a movie and it came to you. They got a platform. They did their thing. Then these bigger like the Jeffersons, the Sanford and Sons, all those old school like shows you see, they started licensing those out. They started licensing those out to these so-called internet whatevers, and didn't think of it because the mother house that was least licensing them out, they were getting their money. They were getting paid their money because they owned the IP, so they were getting paid up front, and they were going to get paid the residual on the back end too. So just like on Joey Pins on the first episode when he said just 200%, not 100%, you know, so they basically banking on that. But then they slept on it to where Netflix, they created, and I'm tying this into the fear part of what's going on in the film industry, why people are kind of like bucking against. What Netflix did in the neglect, they started making their own originals, and they mixed it in with these original IPs from other long ago and created a fucking subscription base.
Correct.
They created a subscription base that done, whoa, they worked a lot of money. And now they became a giant. Now they have many originals. When I tied it in is that those originals, they had to get produced and made and created by crew people and producer people. So I feel like when Netflix gobbles up WB, it's gonna re-energize WB. They're gonna need people to go in there and do it, whatever with AI, whatever with yourself. Also with Netflix, they're gonna be doing more stuff. And then you also gotta start looking into like Neon and A24, which they're not necessarily production making the movie. They're going to finding indie movies and acquiring them, and then putting the marketing and push behind it. And if they have to kind of polish up some things, they're polishing it up. But look at that kind of situation, because the streaming is not like below. It's the new frontier. It's just the new frontier. And, you know, that's all it is. So
yeah, no, for sure. And I think that's why, like, being like, now is the time, man, to like get out there and create. And man, like, hey, man, if Netflix can never turn an actual profit and still be in the running to buy WB, like, man, shit, you can do it too.
Yeah.
But you know, like, man, like like with the Tubi movement, man, it kind of reminds me of like the SoundCloud movement, like a decade or two ago with the artists. You know what I'm saying? And how those people that were smart enough to be able to utilize it, they were able to utilize SoundCloud to get bigger deals and things like that.
And YouTube is the giant.
Anybody that know me know I love some YouTube.
YouTube
That's all I watch, man.
Yeah,
like,
YouTube is there. Like Tubi does pay out. Yeah, Tubi does pay out pretty well. Like, you know, it's AVOD, which is advertisement video on demand.
So yeah, we got for the people that don't understand, there are really like traditionally like three types of OTT platforms.
Tell them what OTT is.
So OTT is over the top. I forget the last T, but essentially that was when we went from traditional TV to receiving to essentially streaming. And so streaming is, I want to say it's over the top telecommunications, but I could be wrong.
I feel like I always just saw over the top. They never, it had whatever. I'll look it up here.
Yeah, and so with OTT, there are three different, essentially profit margins. Like you have the subscription base. SVOD, which is like Netflix. You pay a subscription. Hulu kind of, but like
I think
Netflix is like the at least for now because like they haven't went with ads or anything. So like Netflix is probably like the highest base where like, hey, you pay for it, you pay this one amount, you don't see any ads or anything like that. You get the subscription, you can watch all you want.
Copy that.
Then the next thing that you have is transactional. So that's TVOD. Think of like a Amazon. To where it's kind of a mixture of a subscription where you have a subscription.
There's a paywall there.
Right, but there's a paywall on there for different things that you could purchase. And based on what you want to purchase, you can either rent or you can watch those things. Like Netflix doesn't have those options, but like Amazon does. And Amazon kind of like over the time, it's kind of become a mixture of the three. But they're the best example of a transactional model. And then the last one is like the Tubi. It's the AVOD, the advertising model, to where you don't pay a monthly subscription, but you got to watch ads.
You got to watch ads.
Going
But on the
throughout
the business side, on our side, when you got a movie product on Tubi, that's great. You want those ads to play because that's revenue.
Well, in my opinion, one of the reasons why like Tubi and like YouTube have been successful is because you got to look at it. All of us, damn the majority of us, do come from TV, and so when you watch TV, there are ads.
Yeah,
and so I think that like as people continue to cut the cord, I think that like people will still accept commercials. And so I think that like that's the reason why like people don't buy the Netflix or whatever. Because they're in between to where like I don't want to pay the cable, but I don't want 5 different subscriptions.
Yeah,
because the other part, everything's behind the paywall. Paramount, Disney, you got to have 5 different accounts in order to watch stuff.
Yeah.
And so the Tubi and the YouTube still appeals to that traditional TV watcher who was always just able to turn on their TV and see those basic channels, and they would watch whatever was on there, and they would deal with it. You know, remember it's more channels.
And you got picking fatigue too, like where we grew up, where it was just you change the channel, you had to wait until it came on, so you didn't really get a chance to pick it, but you could stop or here and watch it.
Right.
This is what's playing.
Right. And so then now Tubi gives them that option, like a Netflix, to choose what they want to watch.
Yeah.
But you just got to sit through but lo and behold,
they got a live TV version too. They got a live. You can watch news and cartoons and stuff like that.
But lo and behold, there was a certain point in time where people were willing to pay the premium for not watching commercials.
Yeah.
But I think that as the economy has gotten harder, as times have changed, people realize that in order to watch what I want to watch, I got to have 5 different subscriptions. So you don't just have the Netflix. You got 6 different things.
What the hell happened on HBO?
Yeah,
They got commercials. They was known that that's why you watch HBO.
Amazon got commercials now.
Yeah, like that's why we watched you.
Exactly. But so all of that's gone. So you think about it. If you're paying for that, Hulu advertising is gone. But so then that's why YouTube and Tubi are winning now, because people are looking at it. Hey, regardless, I gotta watch ads now, and so I'd rather not pay anything and watch what's on there.
Versus like $8 a month to get the no ads on YouTube.
Yeah, something like that. I think it's that's probably like $10 or $12.
At some point, Tubi is going to have a subscription. Because Fawsome TV, which is Forever Awesome, is Fawsome TV. They're the next one. They're saying that their projections is looking like what Tubi was looking like a couple of years back.
Right. But here's the key difference. When Tubi goes to a subscription base, it's going to be different than when Netflix goes to an ads version. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. People came into Tubi and YouTube expecting ads, and then eventually got a premium version. People came into Amazon, HBO, Netflix, Hulu expecting no ads, and then they got ads. So that's why people are pissed.
Yeah,
you know
people are. And if Netflix go that way, and it's going to.
Right. You know,
it's
all the other ones
have.
You know,
that's going to be horrendous. You know, but there already is one that's similar to Netflix that's underground. It's called Relay. We actually are on that Relay TV. It's subscription based, and it's only for like real like filmmakers, kind of direct filmmaker kind of page, but it's kind of emerging.
Oh yeah, hey,
but once they want to put the money behind it, it'll be.
Hey, look here, man. Look, people, we gotta. I'm gonna show you. We gotta find the interview where it was. 7-8 years ago of me saying that I was gonna manifest myself in the Hewwood, and it happened. And so, you know what I'm saying, I'm already manifesting that we finna have this OTT platform in order to continue to give back to the people and the creators, because we understand that that is not only the future, not only what we love to do, but also something that the people need. Just because a lot of times I don't speak for nobody but myself. I can give my opinions here and there, but like I know for like me, that stigma of Tubi, I actually love because there are plenty of weekends with me and my wife where we sit down and we do nothing but binge independent movies on Tubi. Like if it's one that comes on that looks like it's highly produced, we turn it off. We turn it off.
Turn it off.
Like I said, we be looking for all of the. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying?
We want the gully stuff, the gutter.
We just love to look, and I know that there are plenty of other people out there like me that that love it. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of like the blaxploitation era. You know what I'm saying? In so many ways.
Definitely that. Definitely that. Definitely.
But yeah, just tying it back in, man. Like this is one of the reasons why, like we're here, and why what I'm saying, like I follow this brother's leads because like now is the time for creators to get out there and create with what you got.
With what you got.
And once again, what I'm saying, like my brother not gonna tell his story, but like I was there, what I'm saying. I'm like TK Kirkland, what I'm saying, like I was everywhere, and like I really watched us build Hewwood on shoestrings.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm most proud of is not only just everything that we went through to make it, was just the fact and the belief that King had that we're gonna make do with what we have. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to worry about what we don't have. Because, sometimes it is easy to get in that realm, and that's when you get into that doubt, man, when you talk about it, when you think about what you don't have, versus you like, hey, we got this one camera, we got these two people that's ready, all right, we finna go make something happen. And through that, the actual magic happened. So for like anybody, you don't have to be a filmmaker. You could be a rapper. You could be a painter. And you could be a builder, an architect. Like there's so many different ways. With all these advancements in technology and people that are out there, man, there's so many different tools to use. And so, as far as it relates specifically to the filmmakers and the content creators, like, man, the Tubi, the YouTube, all these different other things are out there. And, just don't believe that you can't attain it.
Yeah.
That you can't do it. Like, we are living examples of people that have did it.
Mm-hmm.
From nothing to streaming.
To streaming. To getting it on.
From a pages in the book in this man's kitchen to streaming. Like, you can do it, man. You can do it.
Yeah, you can do it, man. You just got y'all could, men, women, kids. We talk kids and everything. So, we could do it. People alive. Put some H's in the comments. I appreciate that, Atum, for saying that.